Have you ever had a dream vision for your life, for your business? You've really gone into finite detail about what it's going to look like, what your business is going to look like, your vision board, you've written it all out in your journal, you've been really working hard for that manifestation, and for some reason the universe just isn't cooperating with you. It's almost as if it's blocking you. It's as if you're feeling this hard no for the way that you want to move forward and how you're creating and what you're creating. And it's completely baffling for you. You feel like in a universe of endless possibility and where I have free will, this should be able to come to pass. So why does it not want it to happen for me? This is the same conversation I had with one of my friends the other day. We were going on this really beautiful walk through the Lake District. It's in the UK. And essentially for my friend, she's had this really successful business for, years now. And for some reason, she's been dreaming up this way and vision that she wants for her life to look and for her vision for her business and how it all interlinks and what it's going to look like. And she's been working on this vision for such a long time, but it's just not happening. It's just not coming to pass. And she was asking this same question of, why is this not true? We were thinking about, maybe you should try this or maybe you should do that. And she said, no, because this is the way that I want to do it. And with my own free will, this is how I want it to be creating. So why is it not happening? So what I felt like I would do in this video today, if that feels like you, and also in response really to my friend, I thought I'd tune in with the Pleiadians, ask them what their perspective on this. Why is it that sometimes it feels like the universe is totally blocking us, even though apparently we should be able to manifest whatever it is that we want? So if that's you, if you feel like that's going to be helpful for you, I invite you to tune in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jen Holmes, and this channel is all about money energetics for entrepreneurs. And most of the content on this channel is channeling from the Pleiadians, and I'm not quite sure why they want to help us out so much with money energetics, but apparently they do, and apparently they want to do it through me. So that's what I'll be sharing on this channel. So if that really sounds like it could be helpful for you, I do invite you to subscribe and tune in for the rest of this video if you really would love to know why the universe may be blocking you sometimes in your vision and in your manifestations, what's going on, and what can you possibly do about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, the Pleiadians want to set a context. The universe is designed to always find the route of least resistance. It isn't about efforting over and above what's necessary to achieve a designated goal. Only if you veered severely out of flow state would you feel the need to try so hard and forcefully with the universe to manifest what you want. And the universe always is trying to reach flow state because flow state acts in its best interest, which is to expand. Flow state takes only one kind of effort, the effort it requires to find and stay in it. The question isn't then, why isn't the universe supporting my manifestations? The question then becomes, and in fact always was, why have I lost my flow state? And how can I find it again and stay there? The Pleiadians shared that if everyone made it their commitment to find their way back into flow state in specific areas of their life, so work, play, relationships, friendships, philanthropy, there'd be no need for the range of what's being shared on this YouTube channel, as they'd only ever speak about one thing, being in flow state, which is barely something that you can speak about at all, as it's so ephemerous. So instead, let's speak about what throws you out of flow state, particularly in your business, and the results that manifest on the other side. So the first thing that throws you out of flow state is that you aren't creating an alignment with your values. Your values are like the North Star of how you move. It's what you've come to realize is important to you. It's how you feel when you're in flow state, and through the power of feeling, you actually find your way back into it. So first of all, find your flow state through finding your values. A good place to start is to search a list of core values. I've linked some below in a blog post, and find the top 5 that resonate with you. Once you've done this, decide on a scale of 1 to 10 how in alignment you're living with those core values. Then create an action list for how you can increase those rankings to a 10 out of 10. Note that what you feel are your own personal core values may not appear on this list, or only be partially described with what you feel to be true. So you'll have to go off-piste to find what that value is through exploration, curiosity, meditation, and however best you find information internally or externally. The second way that you've been thrown out of flow state is that you're prioritizing things in your life that aren't in service and are, for the most part, self-serving. So I recently learned this through the Pleiadians, and that is when you came here, you made a pact with Earth that you would be in service to her, and in return, she would sustain you. And so service has been hardwired into your soul, into your body, into your whole being. It's inescapable. Though most people, for the most part, want to serve in some way, they aren't serving in a way that Earth agrees with. Earth may feel that your efforts could be better spent in far better ways, or in slightly or dramatically different areas, and you aren't surrendering to this. Earth will simply tell you what's needed here, and so tune with Earth and ask her. She is more than willing to share. This drop-in assumes a degree of proficiency to calm the mind and really hear what's being shared from Earth here. So if this seems impossible for you to communicate with Earth in this way, then it's a good idea that you find a practice or meditation that will help you with this quietening of the mind and listening to the consciousnesses that are around you. The third way that you may have been thrown out of flow state is that you've lost the willingness or the drive to create. Create here means working with reality to actually produce fresh, new, varied, and soul-driven manifestations of reality through reality. See, reality won't let you stop creating things. That makes you a bit like an obstruction in the flow of the river. There are numerous reasons why you might have decided that you don't want to create anymore. Maybe you're burnt out, maybe you're tired of lackluster results, maybe you're in the wrong niche, market, or creative platform, and so much more. But if you're finding that you're just wanting to stop and yet continue to be served all these rewards from the universe, then it simply won't happen, or it's going to have a very limited shelf life. So continue to lap that up while you still can. You need to find a way to creatively express, as this will help you find your way back into flow state. That creative expression can't be dank or perfunctory or minimally viable if you want the outcome that you're asking for. It needs to be dramatic and beautifully open from your perspective, which can be hard if you're dispirited from the lack of manifestations. So you need to ask yourself, what is at the intersection of my core values, service to Earth, which can be direct or indirect, and my own powerful creative expression? In reality, all three of these will help you to re-find your flow state, and that will set you on track for the manifestation of what you want. And what you'll find more often than not is that at the intersection of these three states of being produces a rather different vision to the life and business that you say you want and been asking the universe to help you create. It really depends on how long you've been asking for this vision and how long you've been actively winding your way into this crevice that has been unconsciously in opposition to any one of these three elements. It will probably feel hard to backtrack from this place and really envision anything different because it's all you've been asking for so long, but it is possible. In this place, you need to be prepared to surrender it all and change direction greatly or slightly, and this will be different for every person. These are the only reasons why you aren't in flow state, and if you want to re-find flow state, then full clarity around these 3 points in an unobstructed, surrendered to manner is what's needed. Most people don't find their flow state because they're so attached to the outcome that they have in their mind. The Pleiadians have shared with me that they aren't a huge fan of desiring specific outcomes from reality or creating vision boards, because whilst yes, they can manifest what they've set their mind to with fairly minimal effort using this method, they find it better to make greater commitment to finding their flow state in every single moment. From flow state, they tend to get to where they want to go fairly quickly anyway. They feel far better along the way, and where they finally arrive, which they don't really see as arriving anyway because life is a continuum, is actually far better than what they could have concocted in their mind, which would have been imagined from a past limited conception of what might have been possible. So they make flow state their prioritization in every way and in every aspect as they create. You see, flow state can't lead you anywhere awful because flow state brings you into the blossoming of what is natural for who you are and who you're becoming. When you prioritize flow state, you will effortlessly find the way into the what, where, how, and why of what you want in business and how precisely you want to create into it. Flow state itself isn't just any old state that has you feeling high and feeling good, if that's how you've been imagining it. Flow state, especially when it comes to business creation and adding value, is specifically at the intersection of the 3 points that were outlined above, which is aligning with your values, aligning with Earth's will for your service to her, and aligning with your creative expression. If these 3 points lock into place, then you will find flow state. If any one of these is missing or lacking, you will start to feel drag in how you're creating, and the rapidity at which you manifest your desires will slow. It takes a great deal of humility to admit there is a lacking in any one or more of these areas, because it bruises the ego. It will also mean relinquishing the idea of the desires you believed you wanted, because if no matter which way you seem to cut it, flow state seems incapable of being achieved, that vision of what you wanted simply could not have been true. So if no matter what you seem to be doing, or how hard you're asking, or how deeply you're visioning the manifestation of your business and subsequent life through your business, if it simply isn't happening, reflect on your values, anchor into them, connect with Earth, and feel for the way you want to create and what you want to create that will serve her, either directly or indirectly. And feel for where your creative expression into the business itself on a day-to-day basis has lost its flair, its spark, its inexplicable something, and ask yourself what's needed to re-find that spark. What would light you up on a daily basis if the majority of your time was focused in that arena of creation? There's no way that reality would subject you to a business whose foundational creative actions conflict with the creation of flow in your life. It simply wouldn't do that. That's just not how reality works. If you really can't find joy in the actions of creating in your business, if every single thing about the creation of the business in every way that you can possibly conceive of and have asked to be shown creates discomfort, resistance, and tension in you, then you're either in the wrong business entirely, or a limiting belief about the way that you must do business in order for it to thrive needs to shift. For example, if your business requires you to do sales calls, can you change your relationship with sales calls so that they're fun to do rather than awful? Those are only 2 options, and it's better to explore limiting beliefs and what might be holding you apart from joyful action in the business first before you throw the towel in entirely. Remember, values, earth, and expression. Line these 3 up, find flow, and start calling in the future that was meant for you rather than the one you believe was the right one for you. Let it go, let what wants to be, allow it to come to pass. As you lessen control, the river will begin to flow, and flow is a natural space of abundance. Every day will feel like abundance, and expression will feel strong, powerful, natural, and rewarding in and of itself. So you simply release the idea of a vision, and in reality, that's the place that the Pleiadians want you to reach, that every day, every moment of creation or rest is so full of energy and vitality and realness that you simply don't need to pull in this vision. It's not necessary, and in fact makes you feel worse because it adds friction into your now moment. After all, think about it. What would be the need for a vision if everything about the now moment perpetually felt amazing? You just wouldn't pull yourself out of the now ever in order to get anywhere else, no matter how it looked, because you knew whether now or later you would be in flow state, which is what you want. And so the Pleiadians invite in a new way of thinking about this struggle, or the question that we've presented here, because there's a way of being that is so much more rewarding, that is forever ready and available for you to tap into. If you found this video helpful, I invite you to give it a like and give me a little comment below on what you feel like you've most deeply taken away from today's call. I really love I'm always doing calls with people. So let me know in the comments below what you've taken away from this video, and I will have a look through them because I really love reading those comments. And if you feel called to go deeper with this work, I invite you to hop onto a 20-minute Business Ascension call with me, where we're going to dive into your Akashic Records and find one golden nugget around what's needed for you to 10x your business income. I'll also be tuning in for any resources that will really help you with that guidance. So maybe it's courses or influencers or ebooks or anything that I feel like would really support you with that next step. And finally, we'll do a call-in of all of your guides, your non-physical beings, ancestors, all those who are here in support of this business that you're creating, and how you're creating, and how you can show up powerfully and creatively powerfully in that business so that you can be really set up and held for this next phase as you're moving forward. These calls are totally free, and I have a limited number each week. It's how I sustainably serve my community. So if that sounds like it could be super helpful for you, I invite you to book in. The link is in my banner and it's also in the description below this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this week's video and I will see you in the next one.